In this, we will see motion of the charged particle in a uniform magnetic field. Let us consider a magnetic field of strength B here, that is going into the plane. So this is the magnetic field. This is field strength is B. It's a uniform everywhere, and we are projecting a charged particle. Let's say charge of the particle is Q and the mass of the particle is m, and we are projecting this charged particle with velocity v, let's say in this direction. So we know whenever charged particle is moving in a magnetic field, and the force acting on this charged particle will be Q B cross B. So this is the force acting on the charged particle, and here the angle between V and B is 90 degrees. Then you get maximum force. That force equals to Q V B. This is the force acting on this charged particle. Let us see its direction. So force will be, the direction of force will be perpendicular to V and B. So V is in this way and B is going into the plane. Then your F must act in this direction. So this is how your F acts. And from here we can say one more thing, that is the force and velocity, angle between force and velocity is 90 degrees. When angle between force and velocity is 90 degrees, then the work done by the force will be 0. When work done by the force is 0, you see no change in kinetic energy, and when there is no change in kinetic energy, its speed will be constant, because delta k equals to 1 by delta 1 by 2 m v square, and where 1 by 2 m is constant, then v square must be constant. It means that the magnitude of v must be constant, and this force deflects this charged particle. Because of this force, the charged particle will start moving in this direction. So once it comes here, as I said here, there will be no change in its speed. Then at this point it will have velocity in this direction. And again, if you take the same equation to compute force, and here the force acts downwards once again, and because of this force, again the particle goes in this form, and here velocity will be in this direction. Again the force, if you take this equation to compute force, and force will be acting in that way. So because of this force, the particle will take a circular path. The particle is going in a circular path with a uniform speed. Then centripetal force here, necessary centripetal force will be provided by this magnetic force. So that is mv square by r equals to qvb. So that implies r equals to mv by qb. So this is the radius of the circular path. And whenever body is moving in a circular form, in a circular path with a uniform speed, we know that its angular frequency, the angular frequency of that particle is given by this equation, v by r. So now that equals to, then v by r equals to here q b by m. So this is what your angular frequency. So from here you can compute even time period. So then time period equals to 2 pi by omega. Then 2 pi by omega means we get 2 pi m by qb. This is the time period, and you can also write down even frequency. The frequency equals to reciprocal of this time period, and that is 1 by 2 pi qb by m. This is the frequency and this is time period. Look at time period and frequency terms here. Time period and frequency does not depend on velocity of the particle. And from here you can say once again here, as you increase velocity of the particle, radius of the circular path also increases for given charged particle for a fixed amount of magnetic fields. As you increase velocity, radius of the circular path increases, and from this equation you can say time period does not depend on velocity. And this result is used to construct cyclotron. And the This means this is time taken by the particle for one complete cycle, and this is number of cycles per unit time. Let us look at, in this problem, the velocity and the magnetic field both are at 90, both are at the angle between velocity and magnetic field is 90 degrees. If velocity makes the angle, let's say theta, with magnetic field, then what will happen? Let us see here. So for this, I am taking a charged particle, same charged particle. Charge of the particle is q and mass of the particle is m. And here let us take magnetic field is acting in this way. Now we are projecting a charged particle, let us say with velocity v at an angle theta with v. Now you can resolve this velocity into two parts. So one part will go in this way and one part will go here. And this part will be v cosine theta and that part will be v sine theta. So now, because of this part, you will see force, and that force equals to q v b sine theta. This is the force because of this component of velocity, and because of this component of velocity, because this velocity component is acting along v direction, you see no force. So there is no force along this direction. Whenever there is no force along this direction, the velocity remains the same. And because of this component, your particle, because of this component, the force acting on the particle will be this one, and this acts as a this will provide the necessary centripetal force for the particle to go in a circular path, and this particle takes the particle in forward direction. So now, if you take combined effect here, this component is taking the particle in a circular path, and this particle is taking the particle in forward direction. So the resultant path of the particle will be like a helix. Look at, it will be like this. So this is the path of the particle. You are projecting in this direction with some velocity, let's say v, and that makes angle theta with your v direction, and a part of a component of this one, that is v sine theta, is perpendicular to b, that makes the particle to go in a circular path, and horizontal component v cosine theta is acting along v direction. There will be no force on this axis, along this axis. So because of that, the particle will also go in forward direction. The combined effect will be helical form. Now you can also compute the radius of the helix by taking this equation. So this is the centripetal force, mv square. This is, or you can write down directly, mv perpendicular square, because that is only your centripetal force, that equals to q v perpendicular. Because of the perpendicular component, you will see the particle, because of perpendicular component, the particle will go in a circular path. So this is the equation. So this implies, you can write down r equals to radius of the helix equals to now m v perpendicular by q v. And you can also define one more parameter here, that is pitch, and pitch is defined as the horizontal distance covered by the body during one rotation or during one cycle. The horizontal distance covered by the body during one cycle, one rotation, and we know from here you can compute time taken by the particle for one complete cycle, that equals to 2 pi r by v perpendicular, and that is t equals to 2 pi r by v perpendicular will be now here, it is r by v perpendicular will be from here, r by v perpendicular will be m by qb. So 2 pi m by qb, this is the time taken by the particle for one complete cycle. So now pitch distance will be now, let's say p equals to And during this time, what is the horizontal distance covered by the particle? So that you can get directly, we know parallel velocity, parallel component of velocity times t, and that equals to 2 pi m v parallel by qb. So this is what your pitch distance. So look at this problem. A beam of protons with a velocity 4 into 10 power 6 enters a uniform magnetic field of 0.3 Tesla. The velocity makes 60 degrees with the magnetic field. Find the radius of helical path and pitch of helix. So now the given data here is a beam of protons. Protons with a velocity v is equals to 4 into 10 power 6 meter per second, enters a uniform magnetic field of strength 0.3 Tesla, and a velocity makes angle theta equals to 60 degrees with the magnetic field. Find the radius of the helical path. And see, say this is the magnetic field, and now velocity makes angle 60 with the magnetic field. So this is velocity. So because of component of this velocity along this and this direction, the path of the particle will be like a helical shape. So this is what path of the particle. Now we need to get what is the radius of the helical path. Then the radius of the helical path will be equals to here. The equation is m v perpendicular by q times v. So now mass of the proton, that is 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 into, and velocity, perpendicular component of velocity is 4 into 10 power 6, and perpendicular component here is, this will be v sin theta, and this is v cos theta. Perpendicular means v sin 60, then sin 60 value, this is v, then sin 60 value is root 3 by 2. By charge of the proton is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 into magnetic field is 0.3 Tesla. So once you solve this, once you simplify this, you will get answer, that is 1.2 centimeter. So this is the radius of the circular path or radius of the helical path. Now the next question is, what is the pitch of helix? So before finding pitch, you will find out what is the time period. Time period for one rotation, for one revolution or one rotation. Time period equals to, we know that 2 pi r by v perpendicular. So this is your r. Then it is 2 into 3.14 into r value is 1.2 centimeter. Let us keep in terms of meter. By perpendicular component of velocity is 4 into 10 power 6. Then perpendicular component is again sin 60, that is root 3 by 2. So once you simplify this, your answer will be 2.2 into 10 power minus 8 second. So this is your time period of the time period for one time period of the system, or time period for one revolution. And you can also find out frequency. Then the frequency is defined as reciprocal of time, that is 1 by 2.2 into 10 power minus 8, that equals to 0.45 into 10 power 8. This many hertz. Or you can also write down it as 45 into 10 power 6 hertz, or 45 megahertz. You can also write down it as 45 megahertz. So now let us compute what is the pitch distance. So to compute pitch distance, to compute pitch, you need to know what is a parallel component of velocity times the time period. Then parallel component of velocity is 4 into 10 power 6, and the parallel component is, from here you can say that's v cosine theta, and v is this, and cosine 60 is 1 by 2 into time period is 2.2 into 10 power minus 8 seconds. So once you calculate this, you will get answer, that is 4.4 centimeter. So this is the pitch.